Alright guys, well, I drew a limited entry deer tag here in Oregon. It's Sunday morning, the opener was yesterday. I decided to not come for the opener and got up this morning at about 7 o'clock, left, and about a 7-8 hour drive. I literally bombed this trailhead. There was no one in here, but there was another area I wanted to go to, and I went up into that area, and there was a camp up there, and there was a man and a father and his son, and he keyed me into the drainage in the basin up there, where he had like 3 groups of guys, and they left. That's where they were. So they came back down and hunted close to camp. But so I bombed back down to this trailhead. There's no one in here. It goes back like 10 miles. So I'm gonna, there's a basin halfway on the left that has no trail going into it. I don't even know if I can get into it, but I'm gonna try. But the goal today is to get close to where I can head up into that basin, set up camp, get up in the morning when it's daylight, and start working my way up in there. So I'm at about, I think we're at about 5,000 feet right here, starting out. So it's gonna take a day or two for my lungs to get used to this, just like last year in Montana. But I know they will. So, but stay tuned, guys. Hopefully I can get it done. Got 10 days. Cody might come hang out if he tags out. If I tag out, I'm gonna try to help him get his buck. He's in a completely different unit, so hopefully we hook up. In the meantime, I'm riding solo, just me. It's my second solo trip. I've never done 10 days, so I gotta learn to fight the quit and get this hunt done. So stay tuned. Hopefully I'll bring some raw action footage your way. Alright, so I made it in here about 2.5-3 miles. Literally there's no one. The people that were in here, they passed me, so there's no one in here at all. They were just some hikers. But I got in here. I'm right on the creek. I'm gonna got my tent set up, or my tarp, and gonna go to bed, get up in the morning, and I'm gonna head into this basin right up here to the left. So I don't got much more to hike, maybe a half mile on this trail, and then I'm gonna see if I can get up in there. If I can get up in there, there's no one in there. It's just, can I get in there? Can I get an animal out? That's the question. I'm not going to go all the way in. If I can't get an animal out, I'm not going to go in there. This is some pretty rugged country. So it's the first for me. Mountain mule deer hunting. Well, it's actually a second. The first time I did it in Idaho, I crashed and burned. And I'm back here all alone. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. I'm just kind of maybe glass up the backside up here, see if I can find anything. Not that I can kill anything up there. It looks pretty steep, but you never know. So stay tuned, guys. Tomorrow morning is really officially my first day here, and I have 10 days. 10 solid days of hunting. So stay tuned. Well, got up this morning and made some hot cocoa. Saw I didn't get it on camera, but there was a mountain goat literally right in front of my camp across the creek coming down the rock face. It was right at light. It's pretty cool. But met two other hunters coming in. They said they asked me what I was doing, and I want to hit this drainage right here. So they're gonna keep going up the main line, and he said they're only gonna be in here for the morning. But I made it to my spot off the trail, and now I'm gonna go into this basin here, and I'm gonna drop 2 bags of food here. I brought 5 in total. I'm gonna drop 2 bags here, so like if I do want to go back in there, I can just come back and get my 2 bags and go back in. But the plan is to spend 3 days back here. If I don't see anything, I'm gonna grab these 2 bags of food and then hit this basin over here on this side. This basin has that trail, but it's not maintained. It doesn't look like no one really stays or walks on it. I maybe saw 1 boot track on it since I've come off the main line, but there's no trail that goes back into this basin. So I'm taking a little break. I probably gained like 600 feet off the main line down there, and I gotta go another 600 feet more. I think I'm gonna set up camp, and then I'm just gonna kind of screw my way up and go real slow and just start picking apart these rocks, seeing if I can find some mule deer. So should be the only one back in here, but it's beautiful country. It's the wilderness. It's nice. So stay tuned. Hopefully I can get back up in here and set up camp and maybe take a little nap and hunt the evening and hunt the next 3 days. So stay tuned, guys. Well, that just went down real quick. I didn't kill anything, but I've been taking my time walking through here and glassing on both sides, actually sitting down, taking my backpack off, glassing for like 10 minutes, trying to get to where I want to set my camp up. And then boom, there's a big buck right there, 200 yards, staring at me. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And he was with 3 other smaller bucks. And got my bag off, got my gun off, got everything ready to go. Got on my phone, turned on the Hornady app, which I really do like. It won't upload my stuff, so I don't have my dope chart. So I'm 6 miles in here, probably an hour and a half, 2 hours away from service, and I don't have my dope chart. So, lesson learned, always have a printed one. Always have a printed dope chart. Totally screwed up. So now it's like, do I leave? Do I leave and get my dope chart and come back and start it again tomorrow morning? Or do I stay? I know my 200 and I think I know my 300. So I think I'm just going to stay. I'm just going to have to get hopefully get close enough to one. I mean, I could have got him as long as he didn't know I was here. He was close enough. So I think I'm gonna stay. I think I'm gonna give it at least 3 days. I might try one of these days to get up to the top up there. To get up way up there. And try to get cell service. I think if I can get up to the top, I can get cell service. And I can get my dope chart and at least take a screenshot of it. But he was a pretty good buck. I don't think he was a 4-point, but he was a big 3, heavy 3. He was definitely tall and wide. I probably would have shot him. But they didn't really take off too bad, too fast. They kind of just hung out. I think they walked over that ridge. So I'm just gonna take my time, sit here for a little bit. I tried to pick them back up. I can't. And I'm just gonna maybe go over, maybe I'll pick them up again tonight. But let them calm down. Already seen 3 mountain goats over here. This area is definitely full of some game. It just sucks I don't have my dope chart. So that's my fault. But I'm gonna stick it out. I know my 300, I know my 200, and I'm just gonna stick it out and hopefully get lucky enough to find one again and get one within close enough proximity where I can shoot one. But we'll see. Stay tuned. Alright, well, I probably spent 5 hours right there trying to pick up those bucks. Maybe they'd come back, because they really didn't take off. They didn't come back, and I was glassing over here as well, where those mountain goats were. I've picked up 2 other mountain goats across the main drainage, way up there, probably about 8,000 feet. So my tally is 6 mountain goats so far, and 3 bucks. But I found this sweet looking camp right here. Some old timers been back in here. A guy told me, I ran into a guy that works for the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife, and he knew a guy that hunted this main drainage for 30 years, and he said this was his honey hole, and no one's been back in here, no one's back up in here. But this, whoever came up here, it might have been that old timer, packed up an axe with a hoe on the back of it, and a piece of railroad tie. I don't know, to chop wood, maybe to put wood on it and chop it. I don't know why there's a railroad tie here, but and it's all been dug out right here. So someone's old has been up here. It hasn't been used. That railroad tie has been buried. So this stuff's been sitting up here for a while, but you can definitely tell it was someone's honey hole. But also probably back when hunting was a lot better back here. But it's cool to know that, if I ever get drawn for this area again, this camp's up here. It's pretty nice back up in this drainage. It's right next to the river, so I can always get water. Don't have to pack water in. But I'm gonna head out for the last 3 hours and see if we can find that buck or some more bucks. So stay tuned. Well, anytime you film, you want to get stuff on camera. And yesterday had a weird day. Huge story. I don't really want to talk about it right now, but I'm definitely going to talk about it. This is a story for the books. But praise be Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, who got me this tag. Came in here, this area right here. I've already seen 5 bucks, maybe 6 over 160. What a phenomenal hunt. I cannot wait to draw it again. This drainage is phenomenal. It's full of mountain goats and mule deer. I literally jumped to this buck going back to my camp. My camp is literally right there. And I put a neck shot on him right up here. And he is a dandy. And I'm so happy and proud and thankful to my blessed Lord, my provider, Jesus Christ, Christus Rex. Amen. I'm going to take you guys to him. But what a great deer. What a great hunt. So, let's go see this buck. Catch my breath. 6,600 feet in this badass basin. Here he is, boys. See my rifle down. And my backpack. 5-point mule deer with eye guards. Boom! This beautiful canyon, beautiful basin, all by my lonesome. Look at this. Look at that. What a freaking phenomenal day. What a beautiful day. Thank you, Jesus Christ, giving me the, man, I'll save the story for later. Let's get this thing, let's get some pictures and some tags. My tag notched. So here he is. Here he is. 2000, still got some velvet on there. 2025 mule deer, Oregon, high country, mountain bucks, 6.5 Creedmoor. Boom! What a freaking phenomenal buck. I am so happy for this buck. I'm so happy. What a stud. What an amazing basin. What an amazing hunt. Man, not a soul in here. I'm all by myself. No one's even at the trailhead. Miles of this country. Boom. Look at that. That's freaking awesome. That's freaking awesome. Jesus Christ. What a stud. Validated. Boom! Alright guys, well, filming wasn't the best. In a sense, I was coming back to camp. Long story. I had a buck yesterday
and my Hornady app did not sync, so I didn't have my dope chart at all. And yeah, people can say, well, for 400 yards, yeah, I could sling that. I just didn't want to lose an animal. I had a buck last night at 400 yards, and a good buck too. Not as big as this one. This is a blessing for sure. He was a 4x3, but tall and wide, just like this one. I watched him for like an hour, and I decided to not shoot. He was bedded. I didn't really have a shot anyways, so I came up. Well, actually, I come down to my camp, and there was 2 does down by my camp, and they spooked up, and they ended up being 3 bucks of this caliber that ran up to the ridge. And I was really, nervous because I was hoping that they wouldn't leave. I don't know if this was one of those bucks. He was not hanging out with those bucks. He was all by himself. But long story short, I went into town. I got service. I synced my my chart to my phone. So then that way I had it. So if I'm back up in here and I see those bucks again, at least I feel confident and comfortable taking the shot. And then on my way back up, he was like 200 yards below my camp, bedded. And I jumped him, and I ended up sneaking behind him. He was going pretty slow. I think he was pretty stupid. His neck was swollen. But he was starting to go up to the rock formations, and he was probably 70 yards quartering away, and I just put it right behind his shoulder. I went through his shoulder and in through his neck. But I couldn't be more blessed, It's my first time solo, really doing it legit. I feel blessed to have God with me, to have Jesus with me. I don't think I could do it without him. There's a lot, I'm Catholic, so there's a season called Lent. Jesus went into the wilderness, and that's how I looked at this. I was like, if this is what he wants us to do, to go out into the wilderness and have a clean mind, no noise but the rivers and the birds and the mountain goats running up and down these hills. And it was awesome. I do enjoy hunting with people, but I'll never forget this hunt. And to be able to get the points, talk to some biologists, they referred me to this unit. I put in for it, and on day 3 of my hunt, I tagged out, and I've seen plenty of other good bucks. This drainage right here is legit. It's a really good drainage. So thanks for following along. Hopefully, I have another elk tag here in Oregon in 2 more weeks. So I'll be back, see if I can fill that too. But stay tuned, guys. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Sorry I couldn't get the kill shot on there. I am out here first and foremost to try to get my tag filled, but I do also want to film and get the kill shots. But I'm solo, and I'm not passing this guy up. So stay tuned. See you on the next adventure, and thanks for following.
Once you get into the forest, there's not really a lot of diversity on our forest until you get into that upper elevation stuff. So if you're willing and able to hike into that high stuff, I'm thinking you're gonna not have much of an issue finding deer up there.
It's pretty good.
It is. Our success rate has been fairly high. Deer numbers are down for us, but our buck ratio is still pretty good. So I would guess if you've got the whole season to hunt, you're going to find deer. That shouldn't be a problem for you at all. If you're really selective on what you harvest, you might have to do a lot more walking to find what you're interested in. But, you should be able to find a buck fairly easily.